Welcome to the conversation. My name is Benjamin Dixon, host of the Benjamin Dixon Show, filling in. I'm excited this afternoon to be speaking with Nia Miranda. She is an artivist. I love that play on words. An artist slash activist, a businesswoman, actress, producer. And you will know her from the video that went viral this summer during the George Floyd protests throughout the entirety of the summer. Nia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Can you, I want to show everyone the video. We have that video, but before we do, tell me what made you come up with the word artivist and why that represents you more than just like an activist slash actor or artist.
You know, I've been an artist all my life, and I feel like, growing up Black in America, you almost are born into activism. And I realized that the strongest form of change, platform of change, has always been art. Whether it's music or film or dance, that's one thing that can pierce through the soul and it will bypass any prejudice. So I figured that artivism was the strongest weapon I could use to create change in the world.
That's awesome. I feel the same way, especially about being born Black. It's like you're being born into activism, and that's the way I approach media as well, which is why I wanted to start the conversation there. But I would like for the audience to watch the video of what took place, of what you encountered, and what you went viral from, so that we can frame the entire conversation. So let's take a look at that video.
Let me tell you this. This is not a Black woman who's putting Black Lives Matter. I just want you to know that when. Right, but y'all doing that for us, and we ain't asked you to do that. Listen, don't spray stuff on here when they gonna blame Black people for this, and Black people didn't do it. There's some Black person, but we did. If we wanted you to do it, we would have asked. They not gonna show y'all faces when they see that on their building. They gonna blame that on us. Y'all are part of the problem. News come on, they gonna say we did that. We didn't do that. Stuff like this ain't right. Stuff like this ain't right. That's what the problem is. We out here standing together peacefully, protesting without any problems. You got people of all races spraying on buildings talking about Black Lives Matter. That ain't even us. You got police officers coming to a peaceful protest spraying gas on us. We ain't even did nothing. Don't let the media fool you.
Do not let the media fool you. First and foremost, that is a powerful video. I want to frame it. I want to give as much context as we can so that we can have a brief but nuanced conversation. There's a lot happening in that video, especially when we found out over the summer that there were agent provocateurs, literally people from the right-wing movements that were there this summer during the protests for the purposes of vandalizing and causing chaos and dissent. I would like for you to speak about your experience and what you did in that video, why you were compelled to do it, but also in context of what we found out after the fact about this agent provocateurs.
Yes, wow, that video actually kind of makes me emotional. I haven't seen it in a while. But yeah, the first thing I always say is before that experience, it was really a beautiful, protest. It was people of all colors, all races together, standing on one accord to fight against injustice. It just so happened that the police showed up and we started to run, and it pushed me into that experience that we just saw on the video, where I seen two women who were not Black spraying Black Lives Matter on a building with BLM. The problem is that it's not the fact that, our less melanated allies want to help. It's the fact that doing things like that puts targets on Black people's backs. That will have the media saying these people aren't protesting, they're rioters, they're destroying their community. And it wasn't the truth. And until that moment, to be honest, when I was looking at the media, I thought that that's what it was. I'm like, well, I only see Black people, or that's what they're saying at least. So it was until I understand the power in film, being a filmmaker and putting that camera in my hands to record the truth. That was really important. And I saw that from then it kind of sparked, a reoccurrence of people filming people who were doing things that probably would have been deemed as a Black person doing it. So I was doing my part of my job, really.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And for further, well, actually, I want to move to a second part of this. You said, as you were discussing it, that you actually saw, and other people saw this as well, police officers fomenting the violence, right? So it wasn't just like agent provocateurs or allies going too far, but it was the police officers while you were down there who were doing this as well.
It was. Could you imagine a group of people singing "We Shall Overcome" and then getting hit with rubber bullets? Like that's what the experience was: rubber bullets, gas, helicopters everywhere. And if I was at home looking at the news, I would have thought, oh, here they go rioting again. But because I was on the front line, I was able to see what the truth was. And it was very peaceful until the police came.
I want to ask you a question, and I want you to feel completely empowered to disagree with me. Just speak your piece and your truth. To me, I feel like the media would never give us a fair shake anyway. Right, I feel like no matter how peaceful we are, they're gonna say we were rioting. And the other thing is like, I personally, this is the statement I'm getting ready to say does not reflect the opinions of the Young Turks, to be sure. This is me personally, but I just, when I see people crying on television or on Twitter, you have a lot of people who buy into respectability politics. I don't believe that that's you. I know that's not you, right? I've seen enough of your work and read enough about you. You don't care about respectability politics so much. It seemed like you were like, listen, give us a fair shot here. We're getting blamed for it, but let's not add on to it, right? Is that kind of where you were coming from?
That is, don't add on to it if you're gonna help. You have the ability to help in different ways. Our less melanated friends can help in the boardroom. They can help in, council meetings, like places where we don't have seats at the table and you all have a plethora of seats, help there. But being out on the front yard and spray painting, that's not how you help us.
So was it more of a concern about Black lives, literally, because you use the phrase putting targets on our back, which is true, more so than concern or fear of property damage per se? Or was it equal for you?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, property damage, I understand that we all have insurance, right? Businesses have insurance. They can get that taken care of. I drove past that Starbucks. It's completely clean, nothing's on there, but awesome. George Floyd isn't here with us today.
Right, that is so important. Thank you for framing it exactly that way. We only have a few minutes left, but I want to move to your project, Bringing Love Back. Tell everyone about that project.
Bringing Love Back is a heart-based project for me. It's a company where we are promoting togetherness and unity in the Black and Brown community, creating love within ourselves so we can eventually spread that love out into the world. We fight for freedom, although we may not know exactly what it is. But when we do receive the freedom that we're fighting for, we need to be able to receive it and be together. And so that's what Bringing Love Back is, creating events and films that are very unique to us, for us, so we can promote the togetherness in our community.
And is this where the artist part of your ARTIVISM comes in? This is where you demonstrate how your activism intersects with your artwork?
Yes, you'll see films showing the ARTIVISM, the art part, but then as well as family-based opportunities. We have therapy services for the Black family. We do mending sessions, dancing together, cooking together, really creating that community even while we're virtual.
I love that. Can you just, in the last few seconds that we have here, can you put into context to non-Black or non-brown people of color or allies, supporters, why it's important for work like yours to take place that focuses on minorities, on Black people, and why it's important for them to support work like that may not be 100% inclusive of them as a white ally?
Well, just the statement of Black Lives Matter, period, shows you that there is something going on in our community. It's something going on in this country and honestly countries around the world that is not treating the Black people fairly. And so if you are an ally, show up, show up with funding, show up with support, show up with petitions, show up in those places where you know that you don't see many of our faces. That's why we need your help. It's gonna take all of us to create the world that we all can comfortably live in.
And that is, your website is bringingloveback.com.
Yes, bringingloveback.com.
Awesome. I'd like for you to tell everyone as we get ready to get out of here, the best place to get up with you, whatever social media accounts you want them to know about, and get the last word real quick.
If you want to follow me and completely join in on this journey, because it doesn't stop, it's a marathon. You can follow me on Instagram at Nia, NIA _Miranda, MIRANDA. That's where I'm usually at.
Awesome, awesome. Nia Miranda, artivist, businesswoman, activist, actress, producer. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
On the go? Don't worry, we got you covered. You can still listen to TYT at our new podcast network. Find us on Apple Podcasts, the Google Play Store, or at tyt.com/podcast.